Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and of course I have my co-host, my Café con Leche, Mr. Officially Jorge.
Buenos dias, and buenos dias to you.
Buenos dias, papi.
I missed you last week.
I know, I missed you too, but you know,
I missed you.
Hey, I missed you. Listen, there's so much going on.
Yes, there is.
And it's going to be crazy trying to end this 2020 year, right? But Christmas can't get here quick enough. But listen, we are moving and grooving. How was your week?
It was awesome. You know what? This is really cool. Mm-hmm. This is why I love Mocha in the Morning so much.
Because we're dope.
Right? And okay, so we had a signature blend.
Yeah.
With Silvia Riccio, the author.
She's so awesome.
At Dominican Watercolor. She gave us the exclusive, and Homegirl was on Good Morning America.
Come on now, Celie.
Hey, so congratulations to her.
Let me tell you something, though, about the book. So, a young lady that works with me is Dominican. And so I gifted her the book for her nieces and her son. But she is an adult, obviously, and read this book. And the part that's in the front of the book where Celie is saying, I don't want you to forget that you're black, and you know all this stuff. She texted me and was like, this part, I was bawling, crying in tears.
Oh, that's awesome.
She was literally like, I am in tears. I'm so moved by this book. So good job, Celie.
Yeah, we're so moved by having the exclusive, and then we're taking
yeah, so make sure you guys go check out Dominican Watercolor. I mean, this is a really moving piece of work. And
I just love all of the Mocha Marvels that we're actually featuring on the show, because today we have the Queen of Blogalicious, the signature blend, Stacey Ferguson with the Reverie box, which we'll get to Kiki with. I'm gonna girl, that's your box though.
Thank you though.
It's for you.
It is super cute. I can't wait to get involved and show you all what's in there. But thanks, Stace.
Yeah, and then we, of course, have a style segment with our with Liz Everett later on in the show.
She comes through with all the fashion.
I know, right? And it's like
yeah.
And she hits that note, and it's a wrap, and it's done.
It is.
Go get your closet together. I love that.
Yes, it makes us rethink our whole plan. All right, this and so much more. But first,
coffee.
We'll be right back.
Last week didn't have coffee. I was not about it. I was like, crew.
Oh, and nobody answered?
Nobody. Girl.
Okay, well.
You know, the budget.
I could.
Mocha in the Morning is brought to you in part by the Portico Cafe, where conversation, connection, and community create change.
That's right. Welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. And once again, I am your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and this is my co-host, Officially Jorge, and he has all of this week's steaming topics.
Let me get my steamers ready for you.
Yes, darling. What you got for me this week?
Check this out. So go to deadline.com. Yeah. This is awesome news. We have another woman of color, a black woman, and her name is Channing Dungey. And she is now the chairman of Warner Brothers.
Talk about putting black girl magic front and center, honey.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
How you doing? Look at us. Hi.
Add us to the programming.
So, again, you know how we talk about how change needs to happen and inclusivity? Well, part of that is, you need people at the top.
That's right.
Who look like us and know us and who are going to want to produce things that we want to see. So again, this is so awesome. This is great news.
It's great news. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to have advocates, like you said, who are at the top making those decisions. And not just, in the background. So she is front.
So again, Miss Dancy, hey!
Hey, girl, hey.
Congratulations. Oh, and congratulations are in order.
Yeah.
So it looks like the Rhythm Nation is expanding Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis like Grammy Award-winning hit makers for artists like Sherelle, Alexander O'Neal. Oh, and
what's that little artist?
That's right. What's her name again?
Miss Jackson, if you're there.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, finally, they're coming out with their own album.
Can you believe how long it's taken, though? You would think that, because, people are like, people write for so many artists, and then at the end of the day, they come out and have their own project.
Right, and I just want to know who is going to collaborate with them. I mean, because they're not singers, right? They're producers. They come up with the tracks, the songs, the music. So I'm just interested in seeing, who is going to sign on.
It's going to be good. I mean, I cannot wait to see the A-list.
I mean, that's a lot of number ones they have to their name.
My gosh.
The Time. Hello.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Well, check this out. Yeah. So, we have this little kitty cat. This is so funny because, we're from the Bay Area.
Honey,
and,
let me tell you something.
We know these. So, Carol Baskins.
No, ma'am. Okay. She needed.
So, she has come out of her lair as a bisexual kitty cat. I don't know why that's news. Maybe because she got booted off Dancing with the Stars, and now she's going to be dancing with the kitty cats. Let
me tell you. I don't even have any comment. I have zero.
There's like a big billboard. There's a big billboard on, was it Don't Labor Highway? There's a reward, looking out for
her husband.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute. That dude was catnip a long time ago. You're not going to find him.
Ground up tiger feet. Carol's like, no thanks.
Don't know why, who cares?
Right.
But I just know that Tiger King was a huge...
It was a huge Netflix thing, you know.
It was like a thing for a minute. Yeah. The people were like, oh my goodness, this show's crazy. And to add to that lunacy is this. I don't know why that's a thing. But let's talk about something that is a thing.
Honey.
Beyonce's new collection is coming out. Drip 2.
Yes, on October 30th, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, the first line sold out.
So let me tell you, let's make a bet right here live on the show. How long do you think it's gonna? I bet you $5. Okay, maybe 10. I get you a whole meal. How long do you think it's gonna take for it to sell out?
I think it's gonna take I would say 5 minutes.
I'll give it 15.
15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 15. I mean, because first of all, I don't think if we try to get something, we're not even going to be able to access the site to even buy anything.
Her beehive is too large already.
Right. They got people on, switching out VPNs, which is it switches out your whole, where you are in the world on the internet.
That's so crazy.
I know. So, hopefully she'll just send us, like her other celebrity friends, she'll send us a care package.
Beyonce, can we get a box? I'm just going to go on and ask.
I mean, come on now. We breaking national stories.
They say a closed mouth don't get fed. So, Beyonce.
I mean, come on now.
Somebody tag her now.
We're part of the Bay Hive.
Yes, I went to 2 or 3 concerts, girl.
Right? Come on now. So, and in more entertainment news, the Tony Awards.
Yes.
So, of course, what's very interesting is the Best Actor category.
One person. Now that's unheard of. They set some history here. The person is not even competing with anyone. Yeah. They've just said, "Hey, this is you. This is all you, player." Now I am glad to see that some of our very well known African American Black actors, Blair Underwood, David Allen Greer. The play, I think it's called The Slave, was up for quite a few nominations, so it had quite a few Black actors and actresses in it as well. So it'll be good. They haven't said when they're going to do the Tony Awards,
right?
But it's coming, obviously.
Yeah, and you can find the whole list on the NewYorkPost.com where that story is. But what's interesting is Broadway's still shut down.
It is. It has been since March, which is crazy.
Yeah, so we got to do whatever we can again to support the performing arts.
Absolutely.
Because we need our Broadway.
Yeah, and what about this? sliding this into your steamers.
Oh no! I was trying to not talk about it.
Let's don't talk about Bill Cosby. Now, Bill Cosby.
Hey!
Listen, his folks put out a picture of Bill. Bill looked rough, y'all. I know he 83, but they could have braided his hair back or shaved his beard up or something.
Like, I can't believe they put that out as a selfie or what they call in prison a mugshot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah, he's certainly showing.
At least lay his edges down.
Yeah, he's smiling. All right. Well, we'll be right back with Piping Hot on Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend.
Mocha in the Morning's Piping Hot Topics has been brought to you by Patty's Peppers, Hungarian hot and sweet peppers. Which will you choose? Why not both?
Welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I'm your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and it's time for our Piping Hot Topics. And of course, I have to bring on my beautiful Mocha Marvel sisters to join me to talk about the latest in news and culture. So let me introduce my ladies. Miss Kia Shakur.
What's up, everybody? Morning, morning, morning.
Dr. Jen Dobson.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
And Miss Kenya Woodard.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody.
Okay, so starting off our Piping Hot, let's talk about President Trump and once again displaying his unpresidential characteristics. Like, have you ever seen someone just abruptly walk out of an interview? Kenya, what happened with this 60 Minutes interview?
So, listen, it got to a point where Trump decided he no longer wanted to play anymore with Leslie Stahl, right? Okay. Obviously, she's asking him questions that he doesn't want to answer. She's not asking him questions that he knows would, would provide answers that he could give answers that are favorable, that will make him look good. He could talk and brag about himself. Leslie's just not that kind of journalist. So what does Trump do? He decides to pick up his ball and go home. Not surprising. And then don't forget, Trump is a master at TV. He knows exactly what it's going to take to create controversy and to keep eyeballs on him. So this is just par for the course for this guy.
Now, Kia, you're looking like, yep, all of that she just said.
Well, it's actually a little bit more than that, because I think if she would have asked him questions about the Black Lives Matter movement, he could have turned that around into a pro-Trump thing. I'm pro-America, Joe Biden's weak. But she mostly asked him questions about the coronavirus, and there's no way he can flip-flop on that. He doesn't understand the stats. He doesn't seem to respect the 200,000 plus deaths. He doesn't have a plan. So that's really what she was drilling him on the first 45 minutes, and he just didn't want to take it anymore. And per usual, like Kenya said, he picked up his ball and went home. He jumped on Twitter and now is threatening to release the interview before 60 Minutes, which, whatever, fine. And then he also posted this whole little clip of her not wearing a mask for all of 3 seconds, which she was talking to her producers before she could go back to another area to get her personal items, which is how it works with the Secret Service.
Wow. So he just basically felt like he got backed in the corner, so he just was like, I'm out. Basically.
He's acting like Cartman from South Park. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Right. Perfect analogy. Now, while we're talking about Trump, listen, it is reported that 17% of black men who voted for Trump. And while that doesn't seem like a lot, it's a significant amount, right? Because all of our black men don't get out to vote. But when they do, 17% of them have shown to vote for Trump. Now, we're going to talk about a few things here. And I'm going to bring Jen in, and we're going to work backwards. Like 50 Cent and Ice Cube have been very, very vocal. Jen... 50 Cent said he's voting for Trump because he don't want to be 20 Cent. What is
that?
Well, he need to sit his 5 cent behind down. I don't look. 50 Cent. I don't even understand. I mean, I understand the concept of saying I'm wealthy and I want to hold on to my money. I get that. I get that. But I guess my biggest issue to it is that there's a large amount of Black people that don't have those type of resources that need to have a president that understands them as well. And so for 50 Cents to come on and act like, oh, well, I'm just worried about my money, like shows a lack of care or concern for anybody else in our community. So anybody who would continue to support him after this, I think would be crazy to do so.
Right. I think the same thing. I mean, I just think like that it's just irresponsible. Now, Ice Cube, who is saying that, he this contract with Black America, can you talk to me about that? Because he's gotten a lot of flack for that. I don't know if it's because he met with the Trump administration or his timing. Like, what is the major issue with Ice Cube and what he's done?
It's all of that, right? Like, it just looks bad. His timing was terrible. Where was he during the primaries when it was, an opportune time to present this information, especially, to the Democratic, candidates? It was a whole slate of them. So his timing is off. If you've ever taken a peek at the contract, a lot of what, is in it, there are Black legislators, might I add, who have been working on these things for a very long time. For example, there's a request or a demand or whatever, asking that, there be anti-lynching laws passed. Hello, last year it was all over the news about an anti-lynching law that has been, sitting on McConnell's desk. He won't bring it to the Senate for a vote. So, it's not like these things are not, coming up and they're not being talked about. They are. But if you listen to Cube, he makes it seem like, this is the way that we need to go when we're talking about Black people getting what they need from this administration. And, unfortunately, it's raised, a lot of ire among folks because they feel like he's working with Trump to, get this done. And now he's Trump's guy, he's endorsing Trump essentially. So a lot of people have taken a lot of issue with how he's approached this.
And rightfully so. And so, Kenya, let's talk Kia, let's move on and talk about the Georgia lawmaker who went rogue, no mask, crowd surfing. What is going on?
First of all, Vernon Jones is a wolf in sheep's clothing, and I'm not saying that because he supports Trump. I'm saying that because he ran as a Democrat when he's actually a Republican. He did a bait and switch on his constituents, which I think is completely, it's not okay. You shouldn't do that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Democrat. He ran and now he's a Trump supporter and all this kind of stuff, and it's just messed up in general. My other issue with him is Black people don't crowd surf. Because we don't trust anybody gonna drop us on the ground in front of a bunch of other people. That's number 2. And number 3, it was just disrespectful to everybody, especially the minority community who has lost so many people to the coronavirus. You have now taken off your mask and are letting random people touch you and carry you through the crowd. So if you end up like Herman Cain, are you just gonna say, oh, it was just the luck of the draw? Or are you gonna say, I was completely special? Does that sign say special Negro? He thinks he's a special Negro who can't get sick because he's been blessed by Trump or something. It doesn't make any sense, and it's just bad.
It is horrible.
But seriously, we're Black people. Have any of us ever crowd surfed before? Have we ever trusted random people to carry us through a crowd?
Look, I don't allow anybody to pick me up. I don't care who you are. You could be my man. No. So no.
Jen said that's what she draws the line. All right, listen. In Tennessee, there was a poll worker that was fired because he was turning people away if they had Black Lives Matter t-shirts on. Where they do that at? Obviously in Tennessee, but what the audacity, Kenya, what is going on?
Yeah, this was crazy. So, apparently this poll worker was upset that someone came in with the Black Lives Matter shirt on when they came in to vote. But, here's the thing. Black Lives Matter is not running for office. It's not a political organization. So, there's no statement made other than Black Lives Matter when someone steps into a polling place wearing that t-shirt. So for whatever reason, though, this poll worker decided that, this voter was out of line and they could not vote. Big no-no. So eventually this poll worker was fired and, told to kick it, which he should have been.
Yeah, and Jen, can you imagine what's going on in places, where people are not speaking up or not monitoring this type of behavior? I'm sure it's going on in other places.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure it's gone on in other places, because think about it. If I walk into a voting booth with Black Lives Matter, you know darn well who I'm voting for and who I'm not, right? At least I'd like to think. So if you're somebody who's working at a voting booth and you have a bias where you want more people to vote for Trump, then I can see why you would turn people away. And I'm sure it happens all the time. And the problem, though, is going to be in smaller towns where there's, I almost hate to say, people that aren't as educated on the law, that will be turned away and not vote and not realize that that's not acceptable. Right. And that's where the problem's going to arise. And we're going to see this happen more and more and more throughout the course of this election process.
And it's unfortunate. It really is. Now, speaking of unfortunate, Breonna Taylor, the jurors in her case have been cleared to speak about the case. And one of the the grand jurors came out and said basically that the prosecutor steered them away. They influenced them away from a homicide charge. Kia, talk to me about the severity of this and what this means. Like, what next steps? What comes after this?
This is a huge deal because the AG, the Attorney General, basically stated that they didn't feel it was necessary to bring charges for the police officers. But in reality, they weren't even presented that opportunity to read what happened to even, consider it, which it looks like a massive cover up. And that's where everybody's issue is. It's not that they read the information, decided not to. You guys didn't even present it to them to give them the opportunity. And then that's crazy to me. The other part of this, which, we didn't get to talk about in our production meeting, but the officer was actually interviewed on GMA by Michael Strahan, Officer Mattingly, who was one of the officers who shot Breonna, and he's the face of what's going on. The things he said in that interview are so disturbing. He talked about how it's sad, but they were just following orders, and how George Floyd wasn't a good person. The whole situation is just turned into a S show. Honestly, I'm beyond.
That's really?
I'm not even joking.
That's bizarre. That is bizarre. Well, what does happen after this? Is there anything that can happen? Further action or no? It's just
that's a good question. Remains to be seen. What I do know is that the judge said that, hey, I'm opening up the case. You can take a look, and that's unusual as well, because usually when things happen under under a grand jury, that information is, sealed. But in this instance, the judge is saying, have a look, go ahead at it. The other thing I want to add about the juror, when their statement saying that they were not presented, charges for homicide, actually, if you read certain reports, they actually asked, hey, are there any homicide charges here that we should be, looking at? Are they coming? And they were told that homicide didn't apply in this instance because the charges would not stick.
Wow.
Interesting. Wow. So I'm curious to see what's in this file.
Yeah, I am too. We are too. I'm sure everybody is. Now, the Supreme Court has now is allowing Pennsylvania to receive their mail-in ballots 3 days after the deadline. Kia, what does this mean for each party? Like, is this a major loss for Trump's campaign?
This is a huge victory for Democrats. So what this means basically is that the lower court's ruling that said, hey, any mail-in ballots that have, come in, they've been mailed in on time, but they've not yet been counted, you have up to 3 days. to count those ballots. And that's important because a lot of folks are voting absentee this year, or as always, they're voting absentee. And so what the Democrats wanted was to ensure that those votes would be counted. Republicans are like, hey, you need to cut off the day of, and that's just it. Well, the appellate court in Pennsylvania, the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania ruled that, okay, fine, those ballots can be counted. Republicans got upset, went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court voted in a 4-4 split with John Roberts deciding with the liberal justices that, yeah, you're going to have to count those votes. So, what this means is that Democrats got a victory, Republicans not so much. And this is really crucial because Pennsylvania is in a battleground state. So this is a state that Trump needs to win. He got it by surprise in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. He needs the state to win. So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out on election day and the days after when they're counting votes still.
Absolutely. Yeah, and just to add something really quick to that, one thing I thought was interesting is that even if the timestamp is unclear as far as when they submitted it, they'll still be accepted. So that's something that's pretty interesting in this whole thing.
All right, our resident Pennsylvanian.
Yep.
Look, and speaking to you, Jen, our Dr. Jen. Now, how many Zoom calls do you do a week?
Oh, I want this one first.
I do lots of Zoom calls. I do lots of Zoom meetings. I just had a Zoom meeting with a potential client last night. So I'm on Zoom often. I actually even pay the extra money for Zoom. So I use Zoom quite a bit.
Now, our good, Jeffrey Toobin just showed out, literally, on Zoom. He is under fire for his Zoom performance. Okay, Kia?
Okay, so if you have kids in the room or listening to this, you might just want to shoot them away for a quick 5-minute segment because I'm not sure how we're going to talk about this without being slightly inappropriate. If you don't know Jeffrey Toobin, he is a big New Yorker writer. He wrote a book about the O.J. Simpson trial that became a TV series. He is a commentator on CNN, MSNBC. He is everywhere. Apparently, he was on a Zoom call with coworkers, and they were reenacting the debate. He thought his camera was off and that the meeting was over, and started a new call that was more around the personal aspect of him having Mr. Me Time by himself. And the camera was off.
He had a 5-finger meeting with Palm Cena.
I like that. Yes, he had a 5-finger meeting with Palm Cena, not realizing the camera was not off.
Oh my
God. This is not an honest mistake because none of us have ever decided we were going to just start, rubbing one out at a meeting in the middle of the daytime. No, I'm serious. Like, we've never all just said, oh, this Zoom call's getting boring. Why
I need a nooner on right now.
No one does this. So I can't say that it's just weird. It's definitely weird. I don't want to get the giggles about it. But then lumping it into it being sexual harassment, I think that's messed up. I don't find it sexual harassment. I think it was a really ignorant, stupid mistake that he deserved to get suspended for. Ugh.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that part. So, Kenya, they're trying to loop in some sexual harassment here. Would you feel sexually harassed?
I don't know about sexually harassed because I'm not sure if he specifically targeted anyone with his member. However, this I don't think this is his first time doing this in terms of showing himself digitally. I do think that it's probably something that he does on the regular, and he just forgot to double check his cameras, which is why I do, I double check my cameras, double check my audio.
He's done this before? You think he's done this before to coworkers?
I think so. He was way too comfortable. I mean, the descriptions, way too comfortable.
Jen, let's be real. This was not his first time.
This was definitely not his first time. I mean, he probably, obviously this is all in my head, but he probably has some daily events go on like this where he was that comfortable in front of his camera So, but I honestly, like me personally, I don't think he should be suspended for it. I think it's an honest mistake. Like it's one thing to purposely go out and want to show himself, but it was an accident. I don't know that he should be suspended for it. I think we should all laugh it off. Like, I mean, especially because there wasn't any kids. If there was kids, I think that's different. I think, that's a different situation. But these are grown-ups. All grown-ups do what he do. We just don't do it in front of our camera. It was a mistake. He shouldn't get suspended for it.
Men stop doing this type of stuff. Like, this is stuff men do. Men whip out their penises in the middle of the day and have to go to the bathroom to service themselves. How can you all not get through 8 hours a day without having to do stuff like this? Like, ew.
Questions that need answers.
Listen, Tiffany Trump.
That's a good segue into
who is looking like a human blow-up doll. No, okay, I probably shouldn't have said that. Listen, honey, Tiffany came down here and said she was doing a Pride event. That was a whole hot mess. What? Dr. Jen?
So the issue I have with it is maybe she should have talked to, I don't know, one person in the group and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. What do you think? Like, she should have asked somebody's opinion. Maybe she should have got the LGQTB thing correct. Maybe, right? Like,
wait. What letters was that? Say those letters again, real quick.
I'm just following Tiffany's lead on this one, okay?
Don't.
LBGTQIA.
I think she said LBQT. No, she missed a T. She missed a T.
She said BLT. That's what she said.
BLT. Yes. And then on top of it, like, what was it called? Trump Pride. But they didn't really mention necessarily gay pride. They kind of lumped it into a Trump pride.
She could have called us. We could have hooked her up with Jorge. Jorge could have helped her out. At least gave her the right acronym.
I feel like her family threw her to the wolves for this event, honestly. I feel like this was one of those events where they were like, well, this isn't really a major event. Let's just go have Tiffany do it. Like, she's not doing anything. And she went, she sounded high or drunk. She sounded like Miley Cyrus with that weird, deep voice. And then she brought up the whole, I have a gay friend who has a gay friend who died of AIDS. I'm like, girl, you mean like during the 90s or 80s, back when you were, I don't know, 16? What are you talking about?
Girl. And then to top it off, and then she just had a birthday party, didn't she? That was so disrespectful to COVID in this quarantine.
Hey, what better way to, cap off that disaster of an appearance than with a, mask-free party in Miami?
Right.
At a nightclub.
At a nightclub.
At a nightclub.
Listen, she's certainly following in her father's footsteps. A Trump train wreck. All around.
Like father like daughter.
And son.
Which is disappointing because she didn't grow up with the other Trump kids.
I want to bring it up real quick. A lot of people were trying to give Tiffany a chance, thinking she's the one off to the side. Maybe she's not so bad. Maybe, she's in law school. She'll be different. And they are molding her into an uglier version of Ivanka. And that is not what we want. I mean, uglier look-wise because, we've seen what Tiffany looks like compared to Ivanka. I mean, come on.
God, no.
Oh, yikes.
Ooh, well. Tell us how you really feel.
Tell us, right, exactly.
Right?
All right, now let's round this thing out with J-Lo. Now, honey, J-Lo got this song out where she's saying, it translates to, she's saying that she's a black girl from the Bronx. Kia, help me.
Okay, so the words that she used in the song, and the song is with Maloma, and he's a Colombian rapper, and the word she uses is negrita. And negrita can be translated in two ways, little black girl or sweetheart. And she's getting a lot of flack because people are translating it as little black girl. If this was anybody else but J-Lo, it probably wouldn't be getting that much flack. But because J-Lo has appropriated a lot of black culture, she has actually said the N-word in a song with Ja Rule. She's actually taken songs from other black artists. Is why they're just like, J-Lo is once again being a culture vulture who just wants to be black and claim black roots. I mean, I really wish she would at least acknowledge the mistake or answer up to the mistake so that maybe people would be nicer about it, but she refuses to. And what do we expect for her? She's talentless. So this is what it is.
Oh, Dr. Jen, do you feel the same? Do you feel like Jennifer is talentless and misappropriating our culture?
I won't say talentless. I think that she's worked very hard, especially when it comes to choreography and dancing. I think that she does. Don't give me that look here. So I think she does a good job there. But I will agree with Kia and everything else. I mean, she's from the Bronx. She'll even go back to the Bronx to do her videos. She does her Bronx videos in Hollywood with props in the background. Okay, that's how much she could care less about her culture. So I understand why people are upset with J-Lo. And then from what we've heard, J-Lo treats her staff and everybody else so poorly that she's come out to be a very nasty, negative person in a lot of aspects. So as a Black girl, I don't want her to be associated with Black women at all. So she really needs to step up and say, okay, I made an honest mistake. That's not what I meant. I know who I am, and I'm not trying to take away from Black women. But she's not going to do it.
So Kenya, now you bring up this point, we bring up this point about misappropriating Black culture. I mean, obviously J-Lo was not the first and won't be the last to do it. There are several artists. But what about the Fat Joes and, those, artists who use the N-word all the time and they're not Black?
Yeah.
Kenya, how we feel about
Yeah, they've been called out for that,
Okay.
Yeah. They've been called out for doing that as well. Listen, folks like J-Lo, Fat Joe, all of these other artists that cloak themselves in Blackness when it's, comfortable for them, they've been called out on their stuff. And so, again, we're doing it again with J-Lo. Hey, look, okay, fine. There's obviously, a difference in the word between what it's literally translated as and what it could mean, in Hispanic or Latino culture. So, okay, fine. But the problem is that it's J-Lo. And, she hasn't been this Black adjacent since she dated Diddy back in early 2000s.
Right.
So, whatever. Move on.
No, you didn't. She said she ain't been this Black since Diddy. On that note, we will close out Piping Hot Ladies. It's been a pleasure, as usual. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you all so very much. Have a great weekend. Go vote early. All that good stuff like we've been telling you. And we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
All right, stay tuned for more Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. We'll be right back. This week's Piping Hot has been brought to you by Patty's Peppers. You better go get you some. And we'll be right back with Officially Jorge.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by the Klingman Group.
Stay tuned, Mocha Marvels, because we have Liz Everett with our Beauty in Style segment coming up next.
Hello, Mocha in the Morning babes. It's Liz Everett, your style and beauty guru. And as always, I'm so excited to help you rock life like a runway. Now, today I'm going to give you 3 great companies that are going to help you get your glam back. That's right, glamour is back in fashion and in beauty, and you're going to be using your makeup brushes a lot, especially with the glamour of the holiday season coming up. So company number 1, available in Ulta and Target, is Real Techniques. Easy brushes for lots of glamour, and they've got great brush tutorials online as well. Next company is Jamie Shaw. They've got great chisel brushes. Jamie's an incredible artist out of North Carolina, and of course she is always bringing the fabulous and the glam. Last company is Morphe. You can tell I use this powder brush this morning. You guys know it's all about looking and feeling fabulous, and I hope that this helps you do just that.
Good morning, Mocha Marvels, our signature blend with the queen of Blogalicious, Stacey Ferguson, who has launched the subscription box service, the Revelry Box. And this one, my dear, is for you.
Thank
you. Open it.
Honey.
Look
The
at
luxury
that.
lifestyle. Black. Look at all of this, honey. This say Jesus be knowing, honey. Okay, it's all kinds of. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's an oat and honey. Girl, Stacy, thank you. Honey, I will do an unboxing for you all later.
So check out this week's Signature Blend.
Yes.
Good morning, Mocha Marvels. You are watching Mocha in the Morning, and today I have a very special guest. It's the queen of Blogalicious, Justice Stacy Ferguson. Hey, girl, so good to see you.
I am so excited to be here. It's my first time on Mocha in the Morning.
And it definitely will not be your last. So what we're going to do first is we're going to catch up. All right.
I love it. We need to catch up.
Yes. Did you know, according to my Facebook memories, that 3 years ago, this week, we were in
Miami. Yes.
Now tell me, when you see these memories like pop up, how does that make you feel?
Oh my gosh. I love the memories. I mean, I just can't get enough of them. It feels at the same time like it was yesterday, but also it feels like, oh my gosh, I can't believe 3 years has passed.
Oh, I'm telling you, you truly, with Blogalicious, and of course, and if you don't know what Blogalicious is, y'all need to look at that, because it's like the largest new media bloggers conference for women of color in the world.
Yeah.
And in the top 5,
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
You just had such an impact on so many people, and not just women, but men as well.
Yeah, totally.
Very specifically Black women. And I see them out there, and everybody's doing their thing. And what is, like, when you go to bed at night, do you like just think to yourself, wow, like, these people like are listening, they're doing, they're participating, they're creating, and that you had such a huge part in that?
You can make me cry. No, I mean, honestly, it sounds cliche, but it literally is what motivates me. I mean, seeing people do what they do and fulfilling their passions, right? And being creative, being able to express themselves, not waiting for permission, and knowing that I had a little hand in bringing them together and giving them the right resources and tools, and even just the confidence to do it. I mean, it's everything.
Okay, so let's talk about something that's super fantastic, because I know, like, you play such a huge role in inspiring other people, but now you're onto something.
Oh my gosh!
And that is called the Revelry Box.
Yes, the Revelry Box. Take a sip. So I've always loved packages and surprises and gifts, right? And I've known for a while that I wanted to do some type of box, but I just couldn't put my finger on what's going to make this one special, that's going to stand out, and that's going to feel 100% Stacy. And this year, of course, with everything that's going on and Black Lives Matter and people having to pivot because the pandemic is making them kind of rethink, how am I going to make money? And I'm seeing, to your point, right, all of these amazing Black creators putting out like fantastic products and brands. I was like, I want everybody to know what everyone's doing. How can I do that? And I was getting texts, right? Hey, do you know any Black-owned, skincare lines? Do you know any Black-owned accessories lines? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, wouldn't it be awesome if there was a cool way to deliver these awesome Black-owned whatever products right to people's doorsteps? And I'm like, oh, that's it. That's my box. And so the Revelry Box was born. And what it is a luxury box designed to celebrate Black creators and help people discover their amazing products in a really easy, beautiful, and fun way. That's my jam. That's what I do, right? I know people, and I know people who create. And so if I can facilitate that, and at the same time help those creators get the word out about their products, that's, everybody wins. People who want to support the businesses can, and people who need to be supported get that support. So
this just kind of shows how in tune you are to your audience and your followers, and all of your little justices on the side. You asked like, hey, so what's your favorite part about opening a box, your expectation?
Yes.
And you really do know how to get some people to respond because the comments were coming like.
I was surprised. And I was like, oh, okay. But that's exactly what I wanted. I want to listen, and I want to meet those needs, because I do want it to be unlike anything else. I want it to be amazing, and I want people to be happy with it and tell their friends about it. So I was so happy to see all those responses. I got some good ideas too.
And they can go to therevelrybox.com.
Yep, absolutely.
Boom. And they can either get one box or do the subscription.
Look, you did your homework.
What? Look, I mean, come on. Yeah.
Don't play with Jorge, guys. Yeah, no, you can get one box, and each box is themed. So our first one is themed around family. We have success, we have style, we have food, and we have just life, right? And so everyone could use a little pick-me-up treat right now, especially, right, with everything happening. So check it out, therevelrybox.com. You can follow us on Instagram at The Revelry Box. We have a Facebook group there to support Black creators, and we really just want it to be a great experience for everyone involved.
So, when is going to be Blogalicious?
Coming.
You knew it was coming.
I knew that was coming. You had to ask. It's all good. I hear you, Jorge. And so give me till 2021. But I'm working on it.
Look, we're sitting here waiting for Riri's new album.
Yes. Yeah. She's working on it. Right. If she can take time, I can take time, right?
Exactly. Just give us, like a little bit, like.
A little tease. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much. Congratulations on launching the Revelry Box.
Thank you so
the
much.
links are up. Everyone can see them now.
Totally.
And of course, you are still one of the baddest in the industry. So if you need some help, some advice, some coaching, Stacey's also available. Thank you so much for being on Mocha in the Morning.
Thank you.
And for being a part of our tribe. And
I love it. I love your tribe. So fun, so great. I'm so appreciative for you having me.
Well, stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay fabulous. We'll be right back after this.
Your Mocha Minute is brought to you by blackinthebay.com, your online connection to everything that's Black in the Bay.
All right, and this week's Mocha Moment is going to be our beloved Kobe Bryant. His jersey has recently been placed in the National African American Museum in DC, and we could not be more supportive of that. So if you're in DC or going to visit, make sure you check out Kobe Bryant's jersey. Oh, how you gonna unbox my box?
I know, because look at this. Look at all the stuff that's in there.
Listen. This has been an amazing show. Thank you all for tuning in with us, putting up with all of our shenanigans.
Thanks, Stacey, for being on the show.
Honey, that is cute. I can't wait to wear that.
Ooh, I know.
Okay, make sure you share with your friends. We want more Mocha Marbles. All of our platforms, Mocha Morning Show. Listen. We're adding a little flavor to your morning blend.
Flashcards, Black History flashcards.
I see that. We're adding a little flavor to your morning blend every Friday morning.
I love you, and especially you.
You know what? We love you too. I need you to stay focused. Okay. Listen. Once again, I'm your host, Miss Keisha Boyd, and this is my co-host, officially Jorge, and we will see you next week. Vote. Get out and vote. Vote and vote.
And vote.
If you don't do nothing else.
Yeah.
Vote.
Yes. Get you some votes.
I'm out. Crew! I need a bill.
We're in a budget crisis.
Oh.